Two familiar foes go up against each other in another T20 series. India take on Sri Lanka. Let's talk all about that series here at Timeout with SportsAdda. Arun, Sri Lanka are back. It seems like summer holidays are back again with Sri Lanka coming.
There was a time, Akhil, when it was like looking at your neighbors. You looked at Sri Lanka every single day. India, Sri Lanka was becoming like, every day of the week. But yeah, Sri Lanka are back. And India, Sri Lanka after a while. I mean, I know India toured Sri Lanka last year, but there hasn't been so much of India, Sri Lanka. And Sri Lankan team has changed a lot, Akhil. I'm really excited about this team.
Yes, when we last spoke about them, that was a Shikhar Dhawan led side when India had gone there and the other Test team was playing in England. So at that time itself, we had seen a lot of encouraging signs from Sri Lankan cricket. A lot of exciting players were coming up. If you remember, we spoke so much about the 3-4 guys who have consistently delivered for them. So yeah, looking forward to Sri Lanka playing. Uh, Before we get on to the series, Arun, like we do at Timeout with SportsAdda, we have a contest again. We are allowing people who listen in, who watch the show, to participate and win some SportsAdda merchandise again. So the question for today, and again, I request you to give a hint. Don't throw in the answer. Uh, Simple question. It's about the India Sri Lanka T20 series, which is going to start. We'd like to know which Sri Lankan bowler has the best figures in T20 cricket versus India. Very simple question. And Arun, you have a hint, I guess. I'll give that straight hint. He's one of Arun's favorite players.
The smile had to tell it all. I wasn't going to give a hint anyway.
Okay, so that's our question. All you have to do is go onto our YouTube channel, like the video, and put in your answers in the comment section. And again, if you win you are the winner, then you're gonna win some Sports Adda merchandise signed by Brett Lee. So that's the contest question that we have. All right, Arun. India coming off a 3-0 defeat of the West Indies. We had anticipated it might become a little competitive series in the T20 format, but clearly India proved a dominating side, and the signs are nice, right? Surya Kumar Yadav, Venkatesh Iyer beefing up that middle order.
I have to admit, Akhil, Venkatesh Iyer in the middle order is a bit of a surprise for me. I've always thought he was best at opening the innings, and we always looked at him as an all-rounder, but to see that India trying to get him as a finisher augurs well. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised, but I'm happy that he's able to do the job. The question now is, will India also get him to bowl a few overs? We've not seen him bowl a lot. That's something I'm still waiting to see.
But now looks like if we can have the squad that the Indian team has selected for the T20 series, this now without Virat Kohli and Rishabh Pant, who we know will definitely walk back in whenever the time is right. But now the core of the team has started to emerge, right? We are seeing people adapt to formats. We've seen Ishan Kishan being tried in the opening slot, Rohit jumping down in the middle order. So I think now they have a core. So it's about now giving each player a role and trying to figure. And I think everything will now lead up to the T20 World Cup, isn't it?
But that's always been the case, Akhil. We've always known with the Indian squad, you look at the players who've been chosen here. Rohit, Rituraj Gaikwad, Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, Sanju Samson makes a comeback, Ishan Kishan, Venkatesh Iyer, Chahar, Deepak Hooda, Ravindra Jadeja comes back after recovering from injury, Yuzvendra Chahal, Bishnoi, Kuldeep Yadav, Siraj, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Harshal Patel. Bumrah comes back again after a rest, and then there's Avesh Khan to round this up. So this is the squad that's been selected. But these are the players who've always been around. At least in the context of the batting, these are the batsmen who've always been around. It's the question of how India are able to get the best out of these batters. You spoke about Virat Kohli and Rishabh Pant walking back in. Absolutely no doubts they will walk back in. So will KL Rahul. So these are three certainties. Now, who are the other three batters in that lineup that India will field, and where do they bat? That's been the question.
Yeah.
We're talking now about Rohit Sharma dropping down the order. Now, is that the right move? We've always considered that perhaps Rohit and KL will open, or a Virat and KL will open. So where does Rohit bat in the long term? He's the captain, mind you, so you cannot drop him. You cannot dispense with him. Where does Rohit bat? That's the question now for me. Let's start with that.
Interesting one. You're right. I mean, ultimately, Rohit Sharma has to be at the top. He's been taking that position for such a long time for the Indian team. He has to open for them and go full throttle also. That's the way, as a fan, that's how I want to see him like play. Just attack the bowlers from ball one, not worry about wickets going. There are enough batters there. So you're right. That is the combination. Uh, Interesting move also to see so many bowlers now being a part of the options that Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma have to select. Yes, there is obviously Shikhar Dhawan who's missing. Uh, Anyone else you specific have about you want to see in terms of spin bowling? Washington Sundar again is missing here. So who do you think will be the main spinners also? Yuzvendra Chahal and maybe one more.
Chahal, I think Jadeja will stay in the mix. Jadeja has got a lot to offer, so Jadeja will stay in the mix. And like you mentioned, Washington Sundar. There's a question of the backup spinner, obviously, with which the selectors for now have decided to go with Ravi Bishnoi. And what a start he's had to his international career, isn't he? Picked up wickets on debut, man of the match, if I recall correctly. And yeah, so he's the backup spinner as I see it.
All right, so formidable lineup that the Indian team always has in white ball format. Going to Sri
There's
Lanka, they're
Akshar
coming off.
Patel. There's Akshar Patel, Akhil. Sorry, don't forget Akshar Patel's name. Now, we don't often talk about him as an India cricketer, a T20 cricketer, or a white ball cricketer, but Akshar Patel's delivered the goods every time he's been called up to play for India. Be it T20, be it Test cricket, be it ODIs, he's delivered the goods. He will be in the mix when he recovers and he's available for selection.
He needs to find a way to stop like getting injured or like getting like ill, because he's had so many breaks because of unforeseen injuries or like
That's
with
the
COVID
challenge.
striking him. Yeah, so he needs to find a way to just stay fit and healthy. Uh, all right, so Indian team formidable as ever. Sri Lanka coming here after a tough series against Australia in Australia. Arun,
Sorry,
they
Akhil,
lost the
let me
series.
just interrupt you one last time.
Yeah,
Let me just interrupt you one last time. It was
yeah,
it
yeah. Go
was
on.
pleasing to see a VC next to Jasprit Bumrah's name. When the selectors announced the team, it was pleasing to see a VC next to Bumrah's name.
Absolutely. With Bumrah, Rishabh Pant, KL Rahul again are, I think, being formed as the core group now, the core leadership group. And always nice to see a fast bowler, especially in India, getting recognition and getting that opportunity to be a vice captain or even a captain. I mean, there's no harm in somebody like a Bumrah. He's very much capable of leading the Indian team. So, really good opportunity and nice to see that from the selectors.
I was just listening to a podcast this morning, Akhil, and in which when Ian Chappell refers to Imran Khan, and Imran Khan apparently said, when they were discussing captaincy, the first quality of a good captain is he should know bowling, as in he should know the bowling. And who better to know bowling or talk about bowling or think about bowling and bowling related strategy than a certain Jasprit Bumrah.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's a real gem for Indian cricket, and always nice to see somebody being rewarded like that with a role in the team. Okay, so enough of India, Arun. I think we'll have to move on to Sri Lanka now.
Hashtag
Uh,
Bullseye.
Sri Lanka coming back after coming to India after a tough tour to Australia, 5 T20s. They lost that series, but they were encouraging signs. There were a couple of batters, couple of bowlers who found rhythm, Arun. Uh, their core group again is meant for T20 cricket, is superb for T20 cricket, and some of the batters, some of the bowlers are going to be exciting. So I don't see it's not going to be such an easy series where India can walk over them. If you can have a look at the Sri Lankan squad. Yes, Arun. Any thoughts here? Any specific players you're
This will
looking
hope
forward to?
this will hopefully be a more competitive series than the West Indies series, Akhil. If only, if only Sri Lanka can get the runs. There's no question about their bowling attack. They've got variety, they've got firepower, they've got pace in their bowling attack. I am not worried about their bowling at all. They will test the Indian batsmen, but it's the batting that kind of worries. I mean, I like a couple of players there. I like Patum Nisanka. He looks a very very good player. Then
Yeah.
there's Dinesh
Kusal
Chandimal
Mendes
who's
will play.
making runs now.
Yeah.
And then there's Janeet Lianage, a youngster I watched in the LPL. Very, very impressive. Keep an eye out for him. He could be one who could serve Sri Lankan cricket for long. So these three I'm really
Right.
excited about among the batters.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, the bowling is itself. They have lots of options there. Karuna Ratne and Chamira have been really good. I think the captaincy of Dasun Shanaka has also been pretty good. Arun, he's taken up the responsibility at the right times, not back down whenever the opportunity is. Uh, Also, Lahiru Kumara, he's always runs in, gives enough to the team. Mahesh Theekshana, he's I think going to be a part of the Indian T20 League also for the first time. So some exciting bowlers there. While they are not going to be, they are not here for the auction. The auction has already happened, but good for them to show up and like challenge the Indian team, which is such a formidable team.
Yeah, absolutely right. And we've not still mentioned my favorite, the magician who can make things happen on the field. I'm so looking forward to Hasaranga, bat and bowl. We've not seen the best of him, Akhil. Even in the Indian T20 League last year, we didn't see a lot of him. Uh,
Yeah.
in Australia, I think he got COVID and caught COVID, and he was kind of had to stay isolated and all of that. But we've not seen the best of him. But he's a champion. You cannot keep him out of action, Akhil. Give him the bat, he'll get you those quick runs. In the field, he'll make things happen. Give him the ball, he'll get you wickets. So I'm looking forward to Vadindu Asaranga.
Yeah, I mean, the way that the Indian lower order has featured Arun Surya Kumar Yadav, Venkatesh Iyer, even Rishabh Pant when he was around. So it'll be nice to see if they can keep a few overs from Hasaranga to bowl in the later part of the overs, just to challenge these 2-3 batters who are consistently scoring runs. They are very good against pace, but Hasaranga should challenge them. So that's a contest, really good contest that could turn up, and looking forward to watch that.
Also, look out for the quicks, Akhil. We've been really excited about the Sri Lankan quicks from the time of the World
Bowling
Cup.
quick also. Yeah.
Yeah, like Chamira and there was Lakmal and Chamira and a couple of others, but yeah, they the growth has been like this, uh, and which has really been pleasing. So look out for them as well.
All right. So before I get to predictions, Arun, you've been right in the last series with your 3-0 prediction. But before I get on to that, I just want to reiterate we are running a contest here again at Timeout with SportsAdda, where all you have to do is go onto our YouTube channel with your answers. Go to the YouTube channel, like the video, and put in your answers in the comment section. And I've already asked a question. I'm just going to repeat that question. Which Sri Lankan bowler has the best figures against India in T20 cricket? So that's the question. Lots of time out with SportsAdda merchandise for you to win. Participate in this contest. Arun, predictions again 3-0 from your side again.
India have dominated Sri Lanka, so I'd want to say 3-0, but I think the Sri Lankan team will give a fight 2-1 to India.
Yes, I'm
If
also
they get
hoping
the
one
runs,
all.
Akhil, if they get the runs, the problem with the Sri Lankan team is how are they getting, like we mentioned with the West Indies, where are they getting the runs? I think India will have a bad day, and that's the opportunity for Sri Lanka. Hence, I'm saying 2-1 to India.
I'm hoping one all, and then third match again should be a decider. It's been a while since we've gotten into that situation, especially here in India in white ball cricket. We want to see a good fighting third match of a ODI series. I don't know if crowds are going to be allowed, but going to be an exciting series definitely for us cricket fans to watch. Okay, so we'll be back here at Timeout with Sports Adda. The cricket action is heating up, not too far away from the Indian T20 League also. So lots of cricket lined up next couple of months. We'll be here talking cricket at Timeout with Sports Adda. Thank you so much for joining in.